Let's make sure. Okay. Hey guys, it's me, and we're back with Super Monkey Ball Deluxe doing the story mode. I'm trying to act hyper because that's what YouTubers do. No. I also drank a bunch of coffee and still have a lot more coffee left. So I'm probably gonna be a little bit hyperactive. It's weird, it's like I get like jittery and like hyperactive when I drink coffee, but I don't feel more awake. I still feel tired, I just feel restless at the same time. Okay, so organic form. I don't quite understand why it's called that. Is this arc? No, it's not. This is inertial. Well, it's got 2 banana bunches. I'm not gonna really spend time on all the bananas, though there is one banana in particular I want to get for a reason. Pay close attention to my banana count here. I think, is it this one? No, it's this one then. Yeah, if you saw that, I collected 1 banana, but it gave me 2, so I guess they accidentally put 2 bananas in that spot, and I'm trying to get to the goal before it goes a million miles an hour. Come on! There, I don't know why sometimes 420, blaze it! My banana count. Okay, octagonal, or as I used to say when I was younger and I didn't know how to pronounce that word, octagonal. I remember when I realized, because my friend also said octagonal, but when I realized it, I was like, dude, you know it's actually pronounced octagonal. And he's like, what, it is? And I'm like, yeah, I didn't even know until... Oh man, our 420 is gonna go away. I don't know why I have such a hard time, like, doing this. God dang. It's like... Crap. Sometimes it's like I can't gain enough momentum to just kind of fight the slopes. God dang it! Ah! Okay. Okay. No! ¿Por qué? Okay. Might as well get these because they're just right here. Yeah, World 3 is kind of where I have a hard time choosing which stages I really actually want to do, because I don't like a lot of the World 3 stages from Monkey Ball 2. But I find some of the Monkey Ball 1 stages in World 3 kind of boring as well. Some of them, not all of them, but like Repulse or whatever like that. It's like I don't really... It's not a bad stage. I'm not saying it's a bad stage because it's just... I don't know. If I have a choice, I'd prefer to play something else. Okay. Ah! Okay. Why?
Ready? Go!
I did not mean for that to happen. What I want to know is, how does Monkey Ball even work underwater? I just noticed something. It seems like there are like way fewer air bubbles on the PS2 version than on like the GameCube and Xbox. Which makes sense. God damn.
Ready?
like, I know when it's gonna, I know what the next, like, movement the ring is gonna do, but it's hard for me to tell exactly when it's gonna, like, pass that part of the, gap. Okay. Please. Oh, thank God. I've done, like, friggin' 2 or 3 levels, already 5 minutes in. Oh, I've done 4. Hey. Arc bridges.
Ready? Go!
Okay. Now, on the Xbox version, it's really hard to see this little, like, lineup thing in the underwater world for some reason. But on the PS2, since you don't have all the, like, water effects on the floors and stuff. Plus, like, also when, they're, like, different colored floors, the PS2 version tends to, like, exaggerate the difference between, like, the normal color and, like, the off color. And those lines are a pretty good, example, because they, look like they stick out, but they don't really stick out as much on the Xbox version. Ah, I'm gonna fall off. It really sucks, though, that the PS2 can't handle the, water effect. God dang it. It really sucks the PS2 can't handle the water effects because, like, it really doesn't look that much like I'm underwater right now. Like, it looks like I'm in some weird snow place because the air bubbles always look like snow to me. 1780. It was a good year. One time I was at Denny's. I don't remember who I was with, but I was at Denny's. And when we went up to pay, like, the price was like...
Ready?
Shit. What was it? Like, 1965 or something. And I was gonna go, that's a good year. But I figured, that's stupid. I'm not gonna say it. But then, the fucking, like, guy at the cash register fucking goes, oh, that's a good year. They're like, God damn it! I could have been the cool dude. But no, instead he's the fucking jokester now. Now I'm just gonna be known as that fucking that guy at Denny's that didn't say the good year thing. Good year blimp. I want that frickin' bunch. I'm gonna run out of time, I'm sure. What is up with those lamp thing? What the hell are those? They're the things making the air bubbles. I never actually noticed that until now. I don't think I ever really noticed it, like, those lamps are what make these bubbles. But, like, the thing is, though, is it's like, are they supposed to be, like, mechanical lamps, or are they some weird organic life form that doesn't exist, but it just happens to look like a lamp? Maybe it's a lamprey. Ah. Man, good thing you people on YouTube can't actually interact with me while I'm making these bad jokes, or else I'd probably be dead right now. Oh well, at least I'm not making racist jokes. I don't know, sometimes I do, I'm not gonna say that I don't, I do make offensive jokes sometimes. Though usually that's not, like, the kind of joke I make, but... Or I should say, like, directly offensive, like I'm offending, like, something very specific. But... I don't make those kind of jokes very often. But sometimes my best friend... Like, sometimes he just goes, like, way too far with his jokes. Like, he'll say something and I'm like, dude, what the fuck? That's not funny, dude. That's just fucked up. And he'll laugh and I'll be like, no, no, don't. It's not, that's just bad. Sorry for that gross noise, but again, can't breathe at all through my nose.
Ready?
Well, I can, but it's like a huge chore. Oh well. One time I was playing this stage and I tried to do the trick where I bounced over the wall, but like somehow I ended up in an area where it's like I didn't know where I bounced off the wall really weird and I got flung to some other part of the stage, but I didn't know exactly where I was relative to the goal, so I was like screwed and I lost all my time. Curves, man, I like them curves, said the white boy. I guess I'll do a narrow bridge.
Ready? Go!
Sometimes I feel like I'm a stereotypical white guy, but then other times I feel like I'm not even close to a stereotypical white guy. It's weird. Oh.
Ready? Go!
Then again, there is really no one stereotypical white guy. There's always like different types of white guys. Like different stereotypes for different like types. I don't know, like you got the guy that wears the shorts with the like plaid type button-up shirt with the sunglasses and the frosted hair. The dude bro. That's what. You got the like pale as fuck, like hate sunlight white guy. I don't know. You probably get what I'm saying.
Ready?
I don't really know if like which category I specifically like fall in because I'm not really consciously aware of all the different like stereotypes of white guys that there are. I can't believe I just did that.
Ready? Go!
Plus, it's also like, depending on my day, I can act like completely different. Like, sometimes I might be the white guy that, like, I'm not pale as fuck. Although I need to work on my tan a little bit. Whoa! Fuck. But sometimes I'm like the stereotype where it's like, actually no, I'm never really afraid of the sun. I always love natural light. Like, I hate when like someone in my house, like, it's bright and sunny outside, and even when it's overcast but it's bright enough to not need lights in the house, I hate when people turn on lights, because even if they're like the fluorescent bulbs, they're still yellower than like the sunlight, and I hate the way it looks. It just looks gross.
Ready?
Like, I don't know, I hate artificial lighting. Like, I like LEDs because they can be like extremely white light, like what the sun's light appears to us as. Okay. Oh shit! Whew. Fuck. Oh my god, I've been 18 for almost a month now. God damn, my life is flying way past. I need to be a little bit more. What is with the lag? Some stages on the PS2 lag really badly.
Ready?
Why? I don't know.
Go!
And the thing is, though, is it's like... Inchworms lags, but not in the story mode. It lags when I'm in the challenge mode in the amusement park world. I don't know why. What is... Oh, it must be where it's pointing in the background. Oh, it must be, like, because all of the, like, object, like, the city buildings and stuff are, like, in that direction, and maybe that's what. Kind of like how in Super Mario 64, the submarine in Dire Dire Docks causes the game to lag really badly. Sometimes. I remember one time I was trying to do a, not a very good speed run, but a speed run nonetheless, with 16 stars. I was trying to record it, but every time I'd get to Dire Dire Docks, it would lag, but I never knew why. I thought it was like my recording software. I think I was using Fraps at the time. And it would piss me off because it was like, I thought it was because the file size of the video by that point was getting too big or something, so I'd have to like start over and try to do it quicker so it wouldn't. But then I found out that no, it's not just me, just Dire Dire Docks lags. I don't know how I've never really noticed that before, because it's not like...
Ready?
I'm trying to think, had I actually beaten the game 100% at that time? I think I have. I think that was sometime after I finished the, YouTube walkthrough, which I almost want to redo just because of how... Oh my god, lag. I almost want to redo the, YouTube, Super Mario 64 thing, because, for one thing, I'm really quiet in a lot of the videos, in a lot of the parts, and I'm also, like, for some reason, like, later parts, random technical difficulties, I could not even understand why, like, even, I don't know, like, the frame rate would get really choppy, even though while I was actually recording, the frame rate was fine. But, like, the actual video would come out, like, really choppy, and it would piss me off because I couldn't do anything about it. And then there were a bunch of parts where I had to redo them because the microphone I was using was glitching out because it was a different one than what I was normally using. And sometimes I'd be really quiet, but sometimes you would hear me, but my voice would be, like, really slowed down and deep. And I'm like, what the fuck? Seesaw Bridges is fun. Fun equals lag.
Ready? Go!
I just think it's weird because it's like, it's not like every stage lags in this world. And I don't understand why it would lag on the, like, menu on the stage select screen, because it's like you face basically every single part of the background in this level, but it never lags. At least my copy it does. That last one sometimes just gets me because you have to get so close to the edge, and sometimes I have to slow down to actually turn enough. I like how I'm doing it really fast as if I have a chance at getting the time bonus with the way I'm doing it. Oh, crap. It's annoying when it's like you do, get over on the other part of the seesaw before it turns all the way over, but it doesn't tilt back quick enough, and you just roll down the slope anyway, and it's like, well... Why am I bad at everything all of a sudden?
Ready? Go!
Well, I shouldn't say all of a sudden I'm always bad at everything, but not that bad at everything. Something I'm really bad at is writing music that's easy enough for me to actually, like, play. Like, I can play difficult pieces, but the stuff I'm writing is, like, some of the stuff is like list etude level, and it's like, people ask me like how, like my friends ask me like, how can you write music that's so hard if you can't play it? And it's like, you don't understand. That's not how writing music works, or at least when I do it, it's not. Because usually I can't play it, and that's kind of limiting me if I have to be able to play it to write it. I mean, I'm sure my pieces, like, technically I could play them, because I've played difficult pieces, but they definitely take a lot more effort than the stuff I normally learn. Like, I think I just finished learning Debussy's Arabesque No. 1, and I thought it was gonna be difficult, but really the hardest part of the Arabesque is probably the fact that you have like triplet eighth notes against normal eighth notes, which is a really awkward rhythm. But it's like, once you get it, you don't have trouble with it anymore, because it's like the same thing. Although, sometimes because it's in E major, and sometimes the, like, way the, like, left hand is, it's kind of hard to maneuver around the keys. But, yeah. But, I don't know, Arabesque really isn't that hard. And then I tried learning Reverie. But then it's like, it's not hard, but for some reason I just really got, like, disinterested on it. What the hell is wrong with me? I got, like, really disinterested in trying to learn it. That happens a lot, though, is like when I start learning a new piece, I kind of get disinterested in it for a while, and I have a hard time forcing myself to practice it. But then eventually I start liking it more. I don't know exactly how it happens, but after a little while I start liking it more, and then I get more motivated to actually learn it. Well, I don't know if I want to tell my piano teacher that, because I never really mentioned that that's why certain weeks I just don't improve, because I have such a hard time practicing. Speaking of, like, not improving, or, well, not necessarily not improving, but you'll see what I mean. So, and this piece is on my YouTube channel if you want to hear it, though it uses the MIDI sounds before I actually had a sound font that sounds a little bit better. But $4.95, good year. But the piece I wrote called The Raven, I was learning that, and like the part that I was at in the piece, it wasn't like difficult, it's just I could not memorize it. And the problem is it's very hard for me to start getting good at a piece if I can't, like, memorize it so I can work through it without having to use the sheet music. Because the problem is, it's like, it's a lot harder for me to focus on playing better if I also have to focus on sight reading. It's like, I can do it, but it's more difficult, so I like to try to get it to where I can kind of memorize the part that I have to work on, so I can kind of work on it and not have to focus on what the notes themselves are and just how I want to go about doing it. But I could not memorize the chords. Like, I wrote it with, like, really weird chord progressions, like, very, like, modern type chord progressions. Like, it was, like, I don't know, I was trying to experiment with stuff, and it's just, like, because the chords are so weird, and they don't follow, like, the general pattern, it's kind of hard to, like, just memorize them.
Ready? Go!
Like, there's only one piece that I wrote that I can still play. Oh my god.
Ready?
I don't know, there used to be more pieces that I could, play that I wrote, but I forgot them. And a lot of the pieces I used to be able to play that you hold forward, in the story mode that doesn't work, or in the challenge mode that doesn't work.
Ready? Go!
In the challenge mode, I have to, like, slow down for a second. Well.
Ready? Go!
But also, like, a lot of the earlier pieces that I wrote that I did actually learn to play completely were also really bad, too, because it was before I took music theory. Screw it, I'm gonna just... You know what? It's points. I don't care. I wasn't gonna go for the Banana Bunch anyway. But it was before I took music theory, so a lot of them are, like, really bad, because I didn't really know how to, construct, coherent melodies and chord progressions that actually, like, are a thing. Like, of course, I don't just, like, write, like, super generic chord progressions all the time because it gets boring. But, you know, it's still, like, it's a lot easier even to, like, write bizarre sounding pieces if you at least know the general rules, because it's easier to, like, tweak the rules a little bit in music theory to create something unique than it is to try to create something unique without even knowing the basic, like, rules of music theory. Which is what my piano teacher always says, and I completely agree with that. Although, because my pieces are a little bit more contemporary in style, sometimes, like, the way I have to notate certain things are a little weird. And my piano teacher's like, what? I mean, it's maybe not that weird, because, like, in the, like, early 20th century, maybe, like, Romantic period, they do some of the stuff that I have, but that is the end of part 2 of Monkey Ball Deluxe. I will see you guys when I do part